Hello again and welcome to Pearl Magazine. The word Hakka means guest people in Chinese. Since the early Qing dynasty, Hakka people fled south from war and prejudice, and many settled in Hong Kong. They arrived in the city from provinces like Guangdong, Jiangxi, and Fujian. Hakka became the largest tribe in Hong Kong. They have their own cuisine, architecture, language, and even dress. With urban development in Hong Kong, many Hakka villagers left the countryside to work and study in the city, or moved overseas in the 60s. As a result, their culture is disappearing. Alice Khan reports that some Hakka people are making efforts to revive their culture. Trying an ethnic group's cuisine is often a good way to understand its culture. Many Hakka were farmers who settled in Hong Kong 300 years ago. Their way of cooking is rooted in the hardship of their past. Chinese fever vine trees are grown in the wild. This Hakka lady is picking the leaves to make chicken feces chargor.
Split the leaves. It is so smelly. It smells like chicken feces.
She puts the ground-up leaves in water with sugar and brings the solution to a boil. Mixing flour into water, she kneads the dough.
You can make a tiny balls. It has cultural value. In the old days, we ate charcoal because we had nothing to eat. We even didn't have a bakery. Now we have cakes. When I was young, I helped my mom, dad, and grandparents make charcoal. Now I make charcoal when I feel like it.
80-year-old Chan Sang-feng teaches others how to make chargor in a community center in an effort to pass on the method. But she says it is not easy.
Yes, it's a tradition.
Do you worry the technique will disappear if no one learns it?
I do, but can't worry much if no one wants to learn.
She says the technique will disappear because people favor fancy cakes over Hakka chargor. Lee Muk-sing, village chief of this Hakka village in Kuk Po, grows his own vegetables. He follows his ancestors' practice of preserving vegetables with salt.
It is a tradition. Our ancestors also preserved food. This culture has been passed down. In the old days, we were not self-sufficient. If we managed to have a good harvest, we had enough food. Otherwise, we had no food, so we preserved the food for a whole year's consumption.
Today, the previous village chief, Simon Sung, is visiting the family. So Lee has prepared a traditional Hakka dish.
This is stewed pork belly with pickled vegetables. In the past, we made this during celebrations, festivals. We won't have this dish on normal days. We'll make this at banquets, inviting friends over for dinner. We seldom eat beef. We can't afford to kill a cow because it helps with our farming.
Lee says Hakka dishes are usually salty because salt can replenish the body after a hard day of labor in the field.
The traditional way is to add condiments such as fermented red bean curd, 5-spice powder, and star anise. It takes at least 1 hour to braise the pork. If not, the meat will not be succulent.
To promote Hakka cuisine, the Lee family offers cooking workshops to teach people how to make Hakka chicken with fermented glutinous rice wine, which is hard to find in Hong Kong.
In the past, they grow their own sticky rice and then steamed it and then added the yeast, 1 cakes between the rice and let it ferment for 4 to 6 days. And then added the rice wine. Sell it up for 3 months. 3 months later, the wine can be separated from the rice.
She says Hakka people used to make large amounts of wine once a year. They would make braised chicken with the wine, which is said to be good for recovery after giving birth.
Put the chicken in the wok. Now we add dangui, red dates, long an, goji, fungus, and fermented glutinous rice wine. Actually, many people love it. Many come here to join the fermented wine with chicken workshop. They also recommend their friends to come here. They say it is very tasty.
So Wai Han is the owner and chef of an authentic Hakka restaurant. He says poverty forced Hakka people into being creative with their cuisine. He makes his own fermented glutinous rice wine.
In the old days, there are not many kinds of drinks. It is good for health. It can invigorate the body. Nowadays, there are many spirits in the market. Red wine, white wine, champagne, so very few people consume it.
There are very few people making fermented wine, right?
Very few because making yellow wine takes a long time and involves many steps, so many just buy.
In recent years, the government has made efforts to revitalize remote villages and their culture. Anthropologist Sydney Chung of the Chinese University is trying to preserve some disappearing Hakka cuisine. A few months ago, Sydney and Hakka villagers gathered at the university's cross-disciplinary education base in Nto to encourage them to cook classic dishes.
They are some kind of good practice in the old day. We want to keep the practice, and then we want to make sure that some people can inherit the technique, the craftsmanship, try to make sure that not only the local people, but more people outside, even in the other countries, they can understand the meanings, the values of that culture.
Han is trying to keep this culture alive, so he cooks it in a new way that he hopes will attract people to enjoy Hakka food.
This is local crab. This is the right season. So they are meaty. Hakka mainly do stewing. They don't like deep fry or pan fry. But for the string beans, if we don't pan fry them, it will have a grassy taste. For the contemporary way of cooking, we fry them and they will be cooked fast. Also, the color will be bright green.
He also makes this delicacy, fish maw with melon. Usually Hakka would use pig skin instead of fish maw.
They would pour the steamed chicken juice, internal organs, pork and intestines into the wok. That's the traditional way of Hakka cooking. We made slight changes because city dwellers don't like to consume internal organs. Right, so we put melons and dried shrimps instead. It is less filling and gives a fresh flavor.
Sydney says Hakka food culture in Hong Kong is different from Hakka cuisine in China.
This ethnic group, they moved down to the coastal area from the mountain area, and they became Hakka. Yeah. So especially in Hong Kong, they got influence from the boat people, Hok Lo. So that's why we say the local Hakka is very unique because they have agriculture, but at the same time, they also have fisheries culture. Collect like shells, clams, oysters from the coastal area.
Apart from food, Hakka Hill song is probably one key element that reflects Hakka culture. This Hakka Hill song is about a Hakka walled village, Chung Mansion in Sha Tin. 92-year-old Hakka singer Lau Fa Ku has been singing Hakka Hill songs on stage for decades. Her singing reflects Hakka Hill songs, which are distinguished by improvisation.
I didn't learn singing when I was in the countryside. My husband's hometown is in Shenzhen. I was a very young girl. I was cutting grass. The boys take care of the cows. My husband sang mountain songs to flirt with me. We were a group of girls. I was walking in the front and I didn't like him flirting with me, so I sang a mountain song to challenge him.
In the past, 50% of people in Hong Kong spoke Hakka. However, many Hakka moved overseas, and Cantonese and English became the main languages in the city. The Hakka dialect and hill songs have been disappearing since then. Chan Sang-feng and her husband Wang Ming have sung Hakka songs for many years. They would also showcase their singing in ceremonies to ensure the culture is passed on to the next generation. Another characteristic of Hakka hill songs is symbolism and poetry. Stephen Chung is Hakka. He studies Western music. He has specialized in Hakka songs for 20 years. The song is a love song, which is one of the main themes of Hakka hill songs. It is in a category of the Kowloon hill song. He says the structure of hill songs are usually 7 words, 4 lines. Stephen has been collecting tapes and lyrics.
Those tapes are analog. The camera will be broken soon. So I've transferred the video to the computer. I think about 10 plus, maybe 20 people can sing Hakka hill songs. But they're elderly. Hill song development is at the backdrop of the rural environment. Nowadays, no one does farming in Hong Kong.
Stephen visited Wang Ming and Chan Sang-feng to record their singing. He stored the songs digitally in the hopes of preserving the culture.
Hakka dialect. The song has to be sung in Hakka dialect to create the feeling. So, more people sing Hakka hill songs. We also save the dialect.
When we return, students traveling across the ocean for internships in Hong Kong. Stay with us. Welcome back to Pearl Magazine. As fintech, blockchain, AI, and big data have become more important in keeping an economy globally competitive in recent years, Hong Kong leaders are calling for better efforts by both government bodies and enterprises to grab talent in these fields. Cyberport in the Southern District is home to many local and global tech firms. In a talent program jointly developed by Cyberport and its tenants, students from one Silicon Valley university were invited to take part in a tech firm internship program. Under the program, students can gain hands-on knowledge in the real-world working environment, as well as familiarizing themselves with Hong Kong and possibly deciding to move here. Every summer, university students try to get work experience by finding a relevant job or internship related to their studies. One tech firm decided to open up a special internship program for students from Stanford University.
It is a button, right?
Katie Liu majors in computer science at Stanford on the main campus in Palo Alto, California. Her interest in biotech led her to an internship program with a Hong Kong biotech firm.
So I think that I've always been interested in the intersection between medicine and technology, and Hong Kong is really a fast-moving hub for biotech innovation. So I thought it would be a really cool place to gain new perspectives on the industry here.
Katie's job here mainly involves improving the company's internal organ scanner and updating its functions. Unlike her internship with a U.S. firm last year, Katie says this startup firm allows her to get involved in product design, so she feels like she's actually making a difference.
I've been able to tap into and explore a lot of areas of technology that I'm interested in. So from software engineering to data engineering, data science, and also machine learning. I was able to have kind of more of a tangible impact, or I hope to have more of a tangible impact on the work that they do here in general.
Katie's classmate Julia also studies biotech at Stanford. While being assigned to a different area at the company, the classmates get to work on the product tests. Today, however, they've run into some trouble.
I don't know the
Maybe passwords.
Sure.
The students have to get help from their supervisor.
You could do you? Okay.
Justin, who founded this tech startup and hired the interns, is hoping they can help improve the scanner.
So around this?
Like right here?
No.
Oh.
You have to put the middle one first.
With the help of their supervisors, the pair finally solved the problem and finished today's test. Despite having these interns here for only a month or two, Justin says newcomers bring new ideas to help improve their products.
我諗好多時啲 intern 啊，因為其實同我哋而家即係
With interns, unfortunately, due to our age difference, we think quite differently.
咁對我哋嚟講，其實我哋
For us, we actually learn something back from them.
當然啦，即係 intern 本身其實就好有
Of course, these interns are energetic, deal with new problems with lots of energy.
即係有啲真係比較要人手做得多嘅嘢。
When we need to deal with labor-intensive work, they are very helpful in perfecting our products.
做呢啲產品完善咁樣。
Over the past few years, the government has been trying hard to attract talent to Hong Kong. Measures announced in 2022 to lure talent from overseas include improving visa and taxation. Instead of attracting more experienced IT specialists, the Cyberport has partnered with Stanford University to organize internships in Hong Kong so that young talents can come here early.
We have had applications from Oxford and Cambridge before, but not 50 applications from a single university for a single internship. It's relatively fewer. This program, in terms of looking for top talent, is quite helpful, whether it's the Cyberport or the government. They are providing a platform that's getting more helpful in finding talents for tech startups.
Another company who has joined the internship program is this virtual currency management firm. Established in 2018, the company has been expanding from Hong Kong to 6 cities, including Singapore and Dubai. This means a growing demand for manpower. It hopes to identify future employees through this program.
So obviously, the main reason is to nurture and to grow talents in the blockchain space. But also, obviously, we're very open to attract new ideas, fresh ideas that come from newly graduated or people that are currently going through their university studies. At the end of the day, lastly, I would say the final objective is actually to find the right talents to join our team after their internship.
Kai is one of the company's interns this year. A computer science major at Stanford, he will graduate this coming semester. He's traveled to Taiwan before, but finds Hong Kong more suitable for him.
I've actually worked a lot of internship in a variety of industries before this, but I will say working at this company has been quite exciting. I think just the industry, the digital asset industry that this company is involved in is quite an exciting, innovative, novel space to be involved in, I think.
He says he gets to work with various departments at the company and helped create a transaction tool for blockchain management. He says the challenge is valuable.
One of the projects I've been working on personally is a demonstration of a distributed multi-party blockchain transaction signing protocol. So it's really cool. And I've really enjoyed working on this project because I got to apply my interest in cryptography and coding to implement something really cool just from scratch.
Alessio says the program not only helps startups in Hong Kong find suitable talents, but also allows students to experience life in the city, which could help make their decision to move here easier.
As you know, internships are usually very short in duration, so companies sometimes they're reluctant to really invest, and especially startups, an excessive amount of money into internship programs because of the short duration. So with Cyberport covering some of these costs, it actually broadens our reach to these international universities and to these opportunities. On top of that, it obviously is not just about the internship opportunity, but enjoy the whole experience of moving to Hong Kong.
On this day, Kai is meeting up with other interns to get to know the city.
What's good, boy? How you doing, dude?
He says this program is special because it allows students an opportunity to get to know each other in a foreign place, which in turn helps ease them into a new life and adapt to Hong Kong better.
The past few months that we've been out here, I think we've all gotten pretty close to each other, and it was great, having an established support net of other Stanford students that we lived with and we can, relate with in terms of what it's like to be in a new place like Hong Kong. And so it's been great. We get dinner together all the time, and I think I've learned so much from those guys as well, and it's been wonderful just having the Stanford community also out here.
As part of the effort to attract talents to work here, the organizer of the internship programs has also created different events each week for these students to participate in, and so that they can get to know Hong Kong better. That is our show for this week. Join us on Pearl Magazine, same time next week. Bye for now.